One trick poopy.
Hello everyone and welcome to another YouTube video. Today we're doing the most meta thing possible to do on YouTube, and that is a tier list. Now, most Valorant tier lists are looking at the actual usefulness of characters in the game, but I like to believe that every character can be made to work. So instead of telling you you should play this or you shouldn't play this, I'm going to fit the characters into what I believe are the strongest and most useful to play in solo queue. And just a disclaimer, this applies only to solo queue, not to pro play. And then I will go down in the tier list explaining what the other tiers mean. So will carry the carry mean that even if you have someone who's really good at the game on your team, these characters will actually bring you up and let you carry someone who's really good at the game. Good just means overall, generally, you can make these characters work, but in some cases, they might not be as good as will carry the carry. Can be made to work is probably the B tiers or the mid tiers in the game. They're characters that you shouldn't pick from as soon as you want to, but they are characters that will win you games if you put in the time. One Trick Pony are, in my opinion, the characters that are often referred to as useless, when in fact they are very strong, but you do need to dedicate a lot of time to make these characters strong. Otherwise, they will just let you down and they'll make you seem like you're a very bad player. And team player are the characters where you probably don't want to pick them in rank, but I'm trying to explain to you why you don't want to pick them in rank. They're not necessarily bad or have weak kits, they just need a competent team, which you don't usually have in solo queue as of right now. So, without further ado, let's get the obvious one out of the way. Reyna has been a powerhouse since the game has come out. She is very strong, she's very powerful at what she does. All she needs is slightly mediocre aim. Because Valorant is so heavy on RNG, playing Reyna allows you to not only carry your team, but to effectively take space using one of the most obnoxious blinds in the game. I think she's a very powerful character who only needs to get 6 kills to make use of her ultimate, and her ultimate can make her an unstoppable force, whether you can hit headshots or not. She's a character everyone should learn how to play for 2 reasons. Number one, her kit is very strong as of right now, and she will force you to learn how to play the gunplay in Valorant because she relies so much on it. I would actually just go in order, to be honest. Raze is a one-trick pony character. Or she can go in good as well, but she lands in one trick pony because she is really good at what she does, but you need to dedicate your time as a race player to actually learn the nade lineups, as well as the satchel lineups, as well as her animation cancels when it comes to her ultimate and everything else that comes to Raze. She is not an easy character to play, has one of the highest movement skill ceilings in the entire game, and she needs time and dedication to be played correctly. So far, after his nerfs and after everything that's happened to him, will land in good. He is a good character. He does not need anything else added to him. He is overall a jack of all trades in the initiator role. He can gather so much information by himself, and if even a mediocre or a above average silver is on your team, you will feel the impact as he will make your game a lot better. I don't think Jet will carry the carry. I think Jet is good. And the only reason I say that is because Jet doesn't have any healing in her kit. She's very slippery and a very movement heavy character, but she's not a character that can, that can capitalize on the healing in the game. To be fair, I might actually just remove the can be made to work tier because any character can be made to work if you try high enough. I think these are the important tiers that I'll keep in the tier list for now. Back to Jet, she is very slippery and her kit synergizes very well, but she's not a character where she will carry the carry in every single game. If she gets a bad trade, she is down to very little HP, and it takes a very confident player to clutch around on low HP. So that's the reason why I think Jet is just good. She's just under. She's teetering on will carry the carry. If they brought her back that she takes her daggers back when she right clicks, then she'll go up here 100%. But after all the nerfs, she's just good, in my opinion. So, to deal with the two elephants in the room, Neon and Yoru. These characters are not only difficult to play because they have a high skill ceiling, they also have a high entry floor. They're not characters you can pick up and do well with, but people who have put in the time and effort to play Neon and Yoru are absolutely disgusting to play against. They are genuinely one of the most annoying people in the game, and it is just the most obnoxious thing ever to fight against a competent Neon and a Yoru. They will make you hate the game because they can utilize things that they've been given by Riot to be obnoxious, which is why they're in the one trick pony part of the tier list. They're not necessarily amazing or overpowered, but one trick ponies of these characters will make you regret looking in Valorant Q that day. I think we need to bring back the can be made to work tier list, because now that I think about it, there's quite a few characters that might go in here. And the first one, very sad to say this, is Phoenix. Currently, there's just nothing in the game that makes Phoenix good. He's just he's an okay character. He can be made to work, but he's just not it, dude. Like, he needs so much to go right for him to do well. He needs a lot of setup and a lot of time to work. His kit isn't exactly good now that the people know how to play around him. He needs a little bit more buffs from Riot just to make him a lot more reliable to play. I think that's where we'll leave him. Sad to say this, Breach is one of my favorite characters in the game. Design-wise, he is easily the coolest person. Design-wise, he is easily the coolest. Changed my mind. The dude has robotic arms that he can use to create earthquakes. How sick is that? Coolest concept you've ever come up with, Riot. By all means, carry on. Him and Yoru, absolutely awesome design, but him in particular, just his whole aesthetic of being a cyborg that can create earthquakes. Really cool idea. But, so I can stop gushing out about Breach. Breach as a character can win you games. I'm not saying he can't. What I'm saying is he needs a competent team that will listen to him in order to find value. And that is really difficult when most people don't have comms in ranked, and when they will start screeching at you like escaped monkeys from the zoo because you accidentally flashed them when they were looking exactly in the directions of the loud flash-like noise. Sadly, that's just the truth. Breach isn't a self-reliant character. He needs a lot of support from his team to do well. I'm tempted to put Brimstone in the good category. I am. But I think he lands more in the can be made to work. As I said in my Brimstone video, he is a character that requires a lot of commitment from the player. Once you put your smokes down, that smoke is gone. You're not getting that back, you're not getting the molly back, you're not getting your accidental misclick on a stim or a bad play stim back. You have to commit with him. He's very decision heavy, and if you make the wrong decision, you will have to pay for it by playing purely gunplay wise. Cypher is actually going in the one trick pony category. And the reason for that is the best way to play Cypher is to know every little singular pixel on a map. And the reason for that is you need to change your wire position every single round. If you're not doing that, you are trolling your team as a Cypher player. You need to change the way you play around with cages, you need to change where your wires are on the actual map itself, and you need to learn how to control space. He is a character that benefits from you just playing him and him alone, because the more trap wires you know, the more awkward angles you can hold with him, the more he strives in that game. As well as the recent new buffs, he's very close to being good. Not necessarily will carry the carry, but he is very close to being a good character, just not at the current moment. Omen can be made to work. Sadly, he's just one of those characters where his ultimate didn't really age very well. Once you get to above platinum, people will know exactly where he is. He can still cause a lot of confusion in lower than plat diamond elo, but once you reach that point, he's just a character that has become too predictable with the way he plays. Very strong flash, very strong mobility, very, very, very reliable smoker, but he's currently just can be made to work. I should note that these characters are not necessarily always going to be better than the can be made to work characters. I'm just saying you will benefit more from just one-tricking these than you would from necessarily just picking them up and putting them down. These are sort of the high skill ceiling characters in the game. Sage is good. Sage is just a character that all around has been really obnoxious for Riot to balance. She is just such a pain to deal with. A good Sage will remind you how good like Sage can be when it comes to playing around verticality with her wall. A bad Sage looks bad on anyone's team, but she always brings forth the heal and the res. Having a Sage on your team is turning the game from a 5v5 to a theoretical 6v5 because every time you get a kill, she can just bring someone back to life. Of course, that also means that you can get a 6-person ace if you're playing Reyna or anyone who's competent with a gun, but at the same time, you gotta keep in mind that with every other person you need to kill, that makes the game get insanely hard. All in all, good character, very reliable character. That's why she's in the good tier. Viper. Viper, I would say, is no longer in the one-trick pony tier. I think she's just a good character right now. Her smokes are extremely oppressive with the amount of damage they deal to you if you walk through them. Her ultimate now synergizes really well with her team and creates a lot of ambiguity. It is very difficult to play around if your team has never played against the Viper before, especially if they're not too well read on how you're supposed to counter the ultimate, which is just to spray the ever-loving hell out of every single corner of the ultimate. She can be very annoying to fight against when it comes to Molly lineups, which there seem to be an infinite supply of Viper mains. By all means, you are so annoying. I almost lost a ranked game because of a Viper player. It was the most obnoxious thing ever. Keep doing what you're doing. You're doing great. Please make use of this character while she's still strong. Killjoy. Oh boy. Killjoy can be made to work, just not right now, man. She's still annoying. She's still super annoying to play against. Her robot is so darn annoying. That's all she is. She is the pinnacle of annoying character design in this game, and she does what she does very well. A turret will shred your health bar without you realizing. We've all died to it, we just are too ashamed to admit that. Her mollies, when used aggressively rather than passively nowadays, will actually get you a lot of value. And a lot of the times they will just net you free kills because people don't know how to play against them. Her boom bot, I think, needs a rework. I think the boom bot, the alarm bot that tells you that people are coming in nearby, is borderline useless. If it does explode, which if it does, my god, do some aim training, please. But if it does explode on you, I guess it's good. But it's at the point where anything that forces you to peek the enemy as a sentinel isn't really doing you a favor. She can be made to work, but she's not that great. Skye is a team player, just another initiator that sort of suffers from the same thing as Breach, just not as bad. I think she's actually better than Breach. Her flashes now are very team heavy. It's very important for the team to know where the Skye is at all times, because if you play around Skye flashes, they now last longer than they ever have, and they're just terrible to go against. But all in all, very team player heavy. The only reason Sage isn't here, even though she could technically be, is because I think she's just a lot more self-reliant than someone like Skye. The Skye can't heal herself. Astra is a one-trick pony character. In fact, she's probably the second best one-trick pony character next to Raze right now. I am trying to put them in the order that I think they can be made to work. In fact, in this case, I'd say it would go Omen. I think it'd go Phoenix, Omen, Brimstone. That's what I'd be thinking then Killjoy last. And then his Skye is definitely better than Breach. Yeah, what was I on? I was on somewhere here. Astra. Astra is a character who was a powerhouse when she got launched, got nerfed into relatively the ground. She's not currently buried, but she's not as fun or as annoying to play as before. If anything, as far as she goes, I think she's sadly the biggest disappointment that Riot's ever put out. Not because she herself is bad as a character. I don't particularly like her, but I just think her release was so just, for lack of a better descriptive term, like, one day nothing, next day we have Astra. That's what it felt like to me. Very cool design, very unique idea with making everyone's frame rate tank because there's currently stars on screen. Really awesome character design. Too bad to see her turn out the way she was. But a good Astra will remind you of the heydays when this character just ruined high elo for everyone. Next, we have none other than KO. KO is the best character in the series of Can Be Made to Work, and that's just to do with all of his quality of life buffs. I still don't think he's as good at information gathering as Sova. He's more of a Sky-esque information gatherer where I know they're there, but I can't tell you exactly where they are in comparison to Sova and Fade. He's very versatile with his flashes, pop flashing and long ways flashing, as well as having one of the best mollies in the game because it deals area in an AoE in a circular space, just like a smoke would. Not that smoke deals AoE damage, but you get what I mean. And his molly deals a hell of a lot of damage, especially if you land it in the center. His dagger is really annoying to play against because abilities mean so much, especially seeing as he counters the ever-loving hell of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, everyone in the game, pretty much. Especially Sova. RIP Sova players when they fight against the KO dude. You whip your ult out, he just daggers your ass and bye-bye ultimate. But yeah, KO can be very annoying, but he also needs to be a good KO. So he falls somewhere in between the one-trick pony can be made to work category. Fade. Fade is the second character I'll put up here when it comes to will carry the carry. And the reason for that is she does everything Sova does but safer. Sorry to all the Sova players out there, but it's just the truth. Currently, Fade, even after the nerfs, is still a very strong information gatherer. Her scan, although it can be destroyed in one bullet just like Sova's, it's just so much more obnoxious because it has an infinite range contrary to Sova's arrow. It plays a lot more with verticality than Sova's arrow. And because it stands up sort of like on its hind legs to look up and around in a 360 cone, it's just a way better information tool. She's not as effective at getting kills as Reyna is, but she's the most effective character when it comes to information gathering. Chamber still up here. Not for long. Not for long. Keep this in mind. Chamber will only be up here until 5.12 hits. Once 5.12 hits, Chamber will fall down to one-trick pony category. He'll still be a character that's very strong, but you'll need to dedicate the time to play and learn how to play with his new teleport after the changes, as well as understanding how his kit works once he's been nerfed. So currently, he will carry the carry. Very strong character. By all means, abuse the ever-loving hell out of this son of a bitch whilst he's still meta. Harbor will be, not yet, but he will be a one-trick pony character. His smokes are not as intuitive to use as someone like Omen, Viper, Brimstone. His smokes are a lot more, okay, how do I want this to look? He's a lot more imagination based. You have to see the line before you make it, in a sense. You have to know how your smoke is going to look before you put it out, which adds a high skill ceiling to him. He is, in my opinion, the worst of the one-trick pony characters as far as things goes, just because I'm still learning how to play him and people are still getting adjusted to whether he is strong or not. But that doesn't make him any less oppressive. A good Harbor will be very annoying to play against once he has a few of his numbers changed, especially with his unbelievable ability at pushing operators. He's really good at countering operators, but that's pretty much the only thing he has going for him right now, which is kind of sad. But yeah, there you have it. I think this is the ideal lineup. This applies to all ranks in my opinion. As far as it goes, I think this is what you should think of no matter what rank you are. Obviously, as you go up in ranks, all of these characters tend to shift up as people get better at the game. Some of them stay where they are, but generally speaking, the better you are at the character, the better they're going to be on the leaderboard. But one last message before I leave. Do not let this tier list sway you in any direction. If you think Breach is sick as hell and he's your favorite character, play him as much as you want. Remember to play this game for fun. At the end of the day, it is a game. It was meant for people to enjoy themselves. Stop judging people for who they play and just understand that, although there are better choices in the game, not everyone likes Chamber, Reyna, and Fade. Personally, 9 out of 10 times I will be caught playing Yoru and Cypher. Even though they're very difficult characters, I get a lot of enjoyment out of playing them. Thank you everyone for watching. As always, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Consume the content, get the ad revenue, get in, get out, enjoy, touch some grass, make friends, get drunk and regret last night. I don't know, man. Have a good one. I will catch you all later. Goodbye.